For all we know, in Rivals, there is a secret backstory going on. That backstory has had many theorized theories and lots more, but with the new summer update, we might now know what's actually happening in Rivals. For all we know is that the map dimension was a place Nosniy and Sensei used to hang out, as we see a lot of photos of both of them and some together. So let's start with Nosniy. Now, as we see, this was obviously Nosniy as a child, and then this is him when he probably became the owner of Nosniy.inc. And then on the other side we see Sensei with the exact same thing, but this one, it looks like he's only a teenager. But then, this is where it gets a lot more interesting. On both of these walls, you see the exact same photo. Both of them together, but the middle has been ripped, which indicates that they have been split apart. But it wasn't always like this. Our prime example of this are the docs maps. And the ones which is very important is legacy docs. So, you may think, this map's just been revamped, it's nothing else. Well, look at the buildings. Nosniy.inc, 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 Sensei & Co. Keep that in mind, keep that name in mind. But another Sensei & Co. and lots of stuff with like Sensei & Co. boxes, Nosniy.inc boxes. So they obviously work together at some point. But the question is, why aren't they working together anymore? Now, if we go onto the new docs, we will see something very, very weird. And that is that there's one of these brands ain't there. One of these brands has disappeared from the face of all of docs. And that leaves us here. All of these containers have no brands on, because they're probably being shipped out, because there's nothing in them at all, except for this one Nosniy.inc box. Nothing in it, but note that we see that some of these containers don't have names on anymore. There's still this Nosniy.inc thing here, but the two names have been removed, and the Sensei boxes have been as well. But the Nosniy.inc stuff is all here, which means this is where at the time where the war started. And what this means is something's going on. Nosniy obviously kicked out Sensei, but the question is, why and when? But then something very, very weird happens, because when the release of West Town happened, something strange was on the map. Yes, West Town. What? How does this have anything to do with the story? Like, what? Like, you'll be really confused until you realise something. Take a closer look at this map. What do you see? Something very strange, which isn't on any of the other maps right now. If we go to this side, Nosniy Gunworks, which is obviously Nosniy.inc. Sensei and Company. That's Sensei and Co. But the thing is, that must mean this map is set in the past. This map is set up when Nosniy and Sensei were still friends. When everything was normal, because they wouldn't want to work together, would they? There's like no thought they would work together after what they've been through. So this is obviously set in the past. But the question is, when? But, this is where something gets a bit weird. As we know, West Town has to now be set in the past. So, what we know is, West Town and Legacy Docks are before Docks right now. But what this also means is, Dimension is a ruined house. And it wouldn't be a ruined house unless it's been quite a while. And there's photos of both of them. Also a while, Nosniy has become the literal owner of Nosniy.inc. But this is where it gets weird. We also know West Town has been set in the past. Because that doesn't say Sensei & Co, does it? That doesn't say Sensei and Company. That's Sensei Global. They rebranded it, which means that something made them rebrand it, or they wanted to make bigger experiments. Now the thing is, when this happened, if we go into a map, something weird you'll see is there. We need to go on to construction, and this is where things get weird. If we get on top of the crane real quick, you'll see what I mean. So just now, what does this say? Neko was here. Nico was here. So what this obviously means is there's now a third person in this. There is now a third person who is behind the scenes. But why would they be behind the scenes? Because that third person was the head of another company. Nico Laboratories. But what this means is that if there's 3 people in this now, how does this correspond to anything I've just said? The thing is, Nico was trying to figure out why Nosniy and Sensei were enemies. But the thing is, if you go over to him now, he'll say something which is very surprising. And that surprising thing might change the history of rivals forever.